Welcome back here with Business Tonight right here on ET Now. Time now for a big ET Now exclusive. It's the Economic Times and the Great Place to Work Institute annual survey on India's best companies to work for. That's right, it happens every year and we've got the winning list of 10 top companies where everyone wants to work for. Number 1 is Google for the second year in a row. Doesn't come as a surprise. Intel at number 2. Make My Trip at number 3. We've got American Express at number 4. Marriott Hotels at 5. Classic Stripes, that's an auto component manufacturer out of the blue, coming in at number 6. Cope International at 7. Agilent Technologies at 8. Claris Life Sciences at 9. And NetApp at 10. That's right, those are the 10 companies where everyone wants to be working for. And we've got a special guest to debate that list, Prasenjit Bhattacharya, CEO of the Great Place to Work Institute here in India, joining us on Business Tonight for more on that survey and some of its findings. Prasenjit, thanks for joining us on Business Tonight. Google at number 1 year after year. What makes the search engine giant such a good place to work for?
It's an amazing company, and the good thing about Google is that we have studied Google in different geographies. And I think fundamentally the most interesting part about Google is that it is a company which started with one core idea. We want to work with great people. And everything else, the business strategy, the products, the services are an outcome of the fact that they will not settle for anybody except great people. So when I asked their leadership team in India, with whom I have interacted, they would say that we spend up to 50% of our time on recruiting the right people.
Now, Prasenjit, looking at that list of companies, the top 2 companies are MNCs, and then there are several MNCs that follow in the top 50 list as well. So are we suggesting that MNCs are better employers than Indian companies?
I do believe that many MNCs have 2, maybe 3 advantages. For one, they have an established business model that works. So they don't spend time trying to create something from scratch, whether it is a Google or a Qualcomm. They're very clear about the business model that they have. And at the end of the day, employees, when they say I'm working in a great place to work, it's not the massage chairs, it is not the multi-cuisine restaurants, much as press would like to write about it. It is a lot to do with the fact that my manager, my management knows where the organization is going and how to get there. So I think they've got their act together. They also replicate some practices seamlessly, which is, intuitively one might say that will it work in India, but the fact is it does. So a Google employee in India, an Indian working in Google, has perhaps more in common with a Google employee elsewhere in other parts of the world than perhaps rural India, which could potentially be another cup of tea.
Right, now contrary to public perception, Prasenjit, Indian-owned companies or state-owned companies rather haven't done too badly. You've got NTPC ranking at slot number 19. That's ahead of Bharti Airtel, and IOC, for instance, ahead of a Microsoft.
Public sector? Well, think about it. These guys can't promote at will. They cannot hire and fire at will. They cannot give you an extraordinary 30% salary increase. What is left? The only thing that is left is leadership. They can lead people. Trust, pride, camaraderie. That's what makes a great place to work. And trust, pride, camaraderie is not the monopoly of the private sector or of a particular industry. NTPC is an example that you have given. Even today in their departmental promotions, people say with pride that these are not influenced by anybody else.
Fascinating stuff, Prasenjit Bhattacharya with the best places to work for in India. Thanks so much for joining us on Business Tonight. There you have it. Google tops the list of the best place to work for. And now Samir Hashmi caught up with Sunil Malik, the man who probably makes that possible, the head of HR of Google India, for his views on this great achievement.
We take a lot of pride in supporting our employees in terms of their development, making sure that they get the right kind of career development opportunities in the company. We give them a lot of empowerment to take risks, to innovate, and to really discover what they're passionate about. And we hire people who bring a lot of skills, whether it be leadership, innovation, or just kind of like general smarts. So we're looking for great people, and we look to develop and retain them within the company through a whole range of programs that we offer.
Sunil, if you could talk to me specifically about India.
Sure.
I mean, what is different you all have done? Because obviously it's always a challenge to come into a new country, try to understand the culture. You've been a success story in other countries when it comes to these kind of surveys. So what is that which you came and implemented in India? Was it different from what Google does in other countries?
Yeah, so in India, we have tried to really understand the local culture. We've been in India for a number of years now. We have a large employee base in India. India is a very important part of our business globally. We're growing the revenue in India as well, and we're continuing to invest in our employees in India like we do in all our locations in the world.